Just by the way, I just saw some pictures while overseas of benches that were totally ruined by Clorox. People are using like the heavy stuff to clean them, and they just like disintegrate.
Yeah. And really, people need to learn how to take care of wood. It's not rocket science, be it interior wood, exterior wood, whatever that is. Just make sure you can Google these things, people. ChatGPT knows how to treat wood. Just ask it. It'll give you some great tips and tricks. But make sure taking care of these things is not rocket science, especially when it comes to sauna. These things have been around for hundreds of years. These chemicals and cleaners and things like that have not. And guess what? These saunas have stood the test of time. Sometimes all you need is just a couple drops of Dawn dish soap in some water, and then really dilute that and just get a nice bristle brush and give it a good scrub down once in a great while. But really, the key to keeping your bench is good, and I will preach this until I am long gone. But it's prevention. Don't put your bare cheeks on bare wood. You're going to sweat right into it, and that's just a great way to increase smells, mildews, just and gross stuff. So sit on a towel, sit on a sauna mat, whatever you got, sit on something because wood does get hot too. Abachi and other lighter woods, aspens not as hot, but if you've got pine benches or even cedar benches can get warm on that bare skin. So for your safety, make sure you've got some kind of a barrier there because you don't know if all of a sudden a nail or a screw got loose and it's sticking out maybe just a little bit. We've all had that where you lean back and all of a sudden you got a little hot spot or something that's, oh, that's hot. So yeah, backrests are obviously a personal preference and things like that. But make sure if you are making custom backrests, making it out of a wood that doesn't get crazy hot. That sometimes is a little bit of a forgotten art because using the same wood that you're using for your interior cladding may not be the best wood to be sitting on and or leaning up against. So it's okay to mix species. When somebody says they've got a pine sauna, and that's me. I'm in that category. But guess what? I've got a little bit of cedar trim on some of the benches, and I've got a couple other pieces, different woods sprinkled throughout. But because yeah, sitting on pine, it gets hot. I got to sit on a towel.
Yeah, and even if you get, like, the coolest, lightest wood, it still can get pretty hot. Our walls are pine just because it was the cheapest wood, but our bench where we're sitting, the platform is, basswood, which is way lighter, but after it's been heating for an hour and a half, especially our platform can get pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Mm.
And just like anything else, if you build something out of a very non dense wood, it will deteriorate faster than a denser wood. So you are going to have to replace it and or maintain it a little bit more carefully. That's why I make my benches completely detached from the room itself. I can slide my bench whole structure out. I might have to undo a couple of screws because it's in an L and I've got those screwed together, but it is independent. So if I want, I go down to Home Depot, $50 later, I've got new benches, brand new, because I don't need anything crazy special. I just want to be sitting at the right height.
Yeah, and that's a good idea. The more I use sauna, the more I kinda lean that direction. We went and used a sauna in northern Minnesota, and it was built by a sauna company. But, they're probably pretty new to sauna, and they're building the modern saunas that look really nice, big glass wall, but the bench is, like, all enclosed, like, all the way down to the floor, and there's no way to clean below that, and it's like this massive structure that is not gonna be easy to move or clean or change out. Whereas I go up to the UP, and I see a lot of these pictures in the UP, and their benches are just like a 2 by 8 or a 2 by 10 just straight across, and that's
Yep.
not aesthetically it doesn't look as nice, but it is, like, super functional. You can clean under there, you can replace that bench.
Yep.
For them, sauna is an everyday part of life. It has to be functional.
Yep. Oh yeah, I've got a buddy who's got a hunting shack sauna, and it's literally just cinder blocks against the wall, and then you can slide in 2x4s, and those are the benches. And you can actually, oh, you want to go a little bit higher? Stack another set of cinder blocks up there. You just went up 6 inches, boom, which is actually really cool because you can just tear those 2x4s right out of there. And you've got a room if you want to just go in there and stand up or need more room for storage when you leave and pack up camp or something like that. And having that versatility, I think it is a lot of fun because you opened it up. Yeah, my old sauna back when I lived in Minnesota had a bench that literally when people came over and we wanted to sit around the bonfire and I needed more seating, I went in there and we grabbed it and we pulled it out and sat it next to the bonfire. And then, oh, hey, you guys want to go sauna? Oh, hey, lift this up. We need this to go sit on it. And it just kind of came with us. So, and it was just an old pine bench that I'd thrown together, and you're sitting on a towel and you hose it off once in a while and you're good to go. But especially because back then I didn't have a floor drain. So I didn't want to be hosing everything off. I wanted to be able to just take that bench out. Plus, I could take that bench out and sand it, not inside the sauna, generating all that sawdust, like getting in your stove or on your rocks or anything like that. I could take that bench away from the sauna, sand it down, make it look brand new, and boom, bring it back in, and we're good to go. And that's something that I'm kind of thinking about with my current build is I do need to sand the walls. I've got some little bit of splintering or maybe a little bit of whatever things that have happened over time. So I'm gonna kind of have to prep that stove. I'm gonna just grab a contractor bag and plastic and really just duct tape it all to it so I don't get any sawdust in there because I have read and heard of guys that kind of forgot about doing that. They went to go sand inside their sauna and then sawdust gathered in their stove and in their rocks, and you're going to get a burning, smoky incense burner at the end of the day. You're going to have a pretty rough sauna there for the first half an hour until you burn that stuff out of there or wash it out or do whatever you can. So just something to